Okay, so you want to own a car dealership. Buy a big lot, fill it with cars, put up some balloons, sell vehicles at a markup. Simple enough. U.S. auto dealers sold over 15 million new vehicles in a recent year, and the average dealership generates tens of millions of dollars in annual revenue. Surely selling cars at a markup is a straightforward business. It isn't, not even close. New car sales are often the least profitable thing happening on a dealership lot, and understanding why requires understanding a business built almost entirely around what happens after you drive off with the keys. Let's start with the number that changes how you see every car lot you've ever driven past. The average profit margin on a new vehicle sale is often just 2 to 5% of the sticker price, and in highly competitive markets, some new car sales are made at break-even or even a slight loss, specifically to hit manufacturer volume incentives that pay the dealership bonuses for reaching certain sales targets. That means the salesperson negotiating your price down isn't just being generous, the dealership genuinely doesn't make much money on that specific transaction at all. Here's the part almost nobody thinks about before they buy the lot. A single franchise dealership requires an enormous upfront investment just to secure the rights to sell a specific manufacturer's vehicles. Dealership franchise agreements can require facility investments of $5 to $20 million or more, covering showroom construction that meets exact manufacturer brand standards, service bay equipment, and inventory floor plan financing, the loans dealers take out just to keep enough vehicles physically sitting on the lot for customers to buy. So before a single customer walks onto the lot, you're already carrying enormous fixed costs. Floor plan financing alone, the interest paid on loans used to stock inventory, can cost a mid-size dealership hundreds of thousands to over $1 million a year, because a lot carrying $10 to $20 million in vehicle inventory at any given time is paying interest on that entire balance regardless of how quickly cars actually sell. Then there's staffing, sales teams, finance managers, service technicians, and administrative staff, and a mid-size dealership can employ 50 to 150 people, with service department technicians alone requiring years of manufacturer-specific certification training that dealerships often subsidize directly. Now here's the part that explains why dealerships survive despite thin margins on the actual cars. The service department is often the real profit center of the entire operation. Labor rates for dealership service work can run $150 to $200 an hour, with gross margins on service labor frequently exceeding 70%, because a technician's hourly wage is a small fraction of what's billed to the customer. Parts sales carry similarly strong margins, often 40 to 50%, because dealerships benefit from manufacturer relationships that independent repair shops simply cannot access at the same wholesale pricing. Then there's the finance and insurance department, known in the industry simply as F&I, which can be even more profitable than the service bay. When a dealership arranges your auto loan, they often receive a commission from the lender, sometimes called a dealer reserve, for marking up the interest rate slightly above what the customer actually qualified for. Extended warranties, gap insurance, and add-on products sold during financing can carry profit margins exceeding 50%, and industry estimates suggest F&I departments can generate more total profit per vehicle sold than the actual sale of the car itself. Here's the counterintuitive piece. You'd think the newest, most expensive vehicles on the lot would generate the most profit. In many cases, used vehicles are dramatically more profitable than new ones, because used car pricing isn't constrained by manufacturer-set invoice prices and competitive new car market transparency that lets customers easily compare prices across multiple dealerships online. A used vehicle acquired through a trade-in, reconditioned, and resold can carry gross margins of $2,000 to $4,000 or more per vehicle, several times what a comparable new vehicle sale might generate. But this business carries genuine structural risk tied directly to manufacturer relationships and economic cycles. During periods of tight vehicle supply, like the semiconductor chip shortage that hit the industry beginning in 2021, dealerships briefly experienced unusually high margins because limited inventory meant less discounting pressure, but that same dynamic reverses sharply when supply normalizes and manufacturers push dealers to move excess inventory quickly. Franchise agreements also carry real risk, because manufacturers can adjust allocation of desirable vehicles based on dealer performance metrics, meaning a dealership underperforming on customer satisfaction scores or sales volume can find itself receiving fewer of the popular models that actually drive foot traffic. So let's do the actual math on why dealership ownership remains attractive despite thin new car margins. A well-run mid-size dealership might generate $40 to $80 million in total annual revenue combining new sales, used sales, service, parts, and F&I. Against that, floor plan interest, staffing, facility costs, and manufacturer fees can run the majority of that revenue, but net profit margins across the combined operation, once service, parts, and F&I are blended in with thin-margin new car sales, can land in the 2 to 4% range of total revenue, translating to $1 to $3 million in annual profit for a well-managed mid-size operation, a business that requires enormous capital and operational complexity to run but one where the actual car sale is almost incidental to how the real money gets made. That gap, between what a customer assumes a dealership earns on selling them a car and where the profit actually comes from, service, parts, and financing, is the entire story of why dealerships push extended service plans, aggressive financing options, and loyalty programs so hard. You didn't buy a car from a dealership to make them rich on that single transaction. You became a customer they'll try to keep coming back for oil changes, brake jobs, and your next trade-in for the next decade, because that relationship, not the sale itself, is where the real profit actually lives.